advertisement, and this wasn't the plan.
Yes.
But basically, the Audrey is basically one of the first adopters that we had basically a year and a half before, or something just like that. So Audrey is with us almost from the beginning. So happy to hear that, and really appreciate that. At this moment, we have there on the Google Meet the 30 people, 32, okay, and still the people are joining us. Some people we already have online on the LinkedIn. Is it correct, Anjko? Please, can you check it out that we are live also there?
Yes, we are live,
Uh,
so I
so
think the
I
people should be joining on LinkedIn as well.
So I also would like to welcome all the people that are watching us from the LinkedIn. And at this moment, I would like to a little bit describe how you can ask the questions during the webinar. And I will share my screen and a little bit to describe what are the possibilities to start asking the questions. Basically, here in a Google Meet, the people that watching us directly from the Google Meet has direct option to write into the chat. I think the chat should be available for everyone. In case that the chat is not available for everyone, because time to time we still using the same settings, and time to time the chat is available, time to time is not available. So the other option is here when you click to the meeting tools. Here is a section Q&A, and here you can ask the question. And because I see a lot of people basically joining us from the Czech Republic, and it was lunchtime, so I can kick it off. How was your lunch today? And you can write us to the chat or to the Q&A section. Really unique question to test it out how it's working. Please, somebody write it to the Q&A. It can be the one word answer: good, bad, normal, didn't eat. Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Thank you for the response. I finger crossed that after the webinar or during the webinar, you will find out some time for the lunch. Okay. No one else. No one else would like to share the experience with today's lunch. Okay. But it seems that the Q&A section working. So I will be happy if you will ask the questions during the webinar, and we will try to answer them. Pulled beef burrito bowl plus haircut, successful lunch. Amazing, Lucas. The multitasking everywhere. Great job. And for the people that are joining us on the YouTube and on the LinkedIn, Anna will share the link directly to join us here on the Google Meet to make that the more personal. But in case that you prefer to watching on the platforms that you are watching, here in the questions, we went through the webinar here on the Google Meet, and after that, we just replying on the questions on the LinkedIn and on the YouTube after that. So do not worry when you ask the question, you will receive the answer, but not right now, but with some delay. And also, the last week was really interesting points, the people that basically join us here the live. Then you would like to ask us directly, there is basically also the possibility to ask us directly on the stage. You just need to raise the hand, like here, clicking to this small hand, and we will see that somebody raise the hand, and we will invite him or her directly to the stage. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. The Audrey has a really nice track record, and I see the huge opportunity to basically learn something new from her expertise and from her skills. And at this moment, I just stopping the share screen and start sharing the presentation. We will also start the recording because the record will be available after it on the YouTube. That's the most frequent asked questions after 10 minutes of the webinar. So yes, the recording will be available, and you will receive that directly via newsletter. It will be available directly also on our YouTube, so do not worry. And at this moment, I just start sharing the presentation, and I will do the proper introduction. So can you see my screen or not? Yes. It seems that you should see my screen. Amazing, amazing. Thank you for the feedback. And at this moment, I would like to welcome here the Audrey. Audrey is a founder of the company Close with Copy, and on Audrey helping the companies with a brand, with the content creation, and etc. Between her clients are the small startups, but also big corporates like the Microsoft or the Antler. And Audrey has at this moment on the LinkedIn profile almost 70,000 followers. So that's basically also say something about her skill set and about the track record. And Audrey, would you like to something add to your introduction, or I just managed the introduction properly?
No, I think I can share more later, but yes, that's a lovely introduction. I'm excited to also chat more. Thomas, back to you.
Thank you. And at this moment, I just introduce right now myself. My name is Thomas. I am from LeadSpeaker. LeadSpeaker is a sales automation platform, and we have this webinar on a weekly basis. And at this moment, I just already giving you the screen sharing, and we can jump in directly to today's topic. And today, we take a look how to build the presence on the LinkedIn, and how to utilize that to basically get the customers from that.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Thomas, for the warm introduction, and great to see all you folks, old friends and new faces. Welcome. Now, I know this meeting is being recorded, but I do have something for folks who stay all the way till the end, a special bonus surprise. So if you want to know what it is, you got to hang tight and eat your lunch here with me. All right. So today we're going to be talking about how you can build authority on LinkedIn. So my goal is to equip you with the skill sets to really build a brand that attracts high intent prospects. I want to keep this workshop or mini session interactive as well. So if you have any questions or thoughts, pop them in the chat wherever you're at, and Thomas will pick the questions that he will then ask me. So if you are ready, let's dive right in. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Audrey. I'm based in the sunny island of Singapore, and I run my own content strategy consultancy, right? So I've been building this for about 4 years now, and honestly, LinkedIn has been my source of inbound leads. So I grew from 0 to 70K followers in the past 3 years, all organically on LinkedIn with $0 in ad spend. Last year, I got about 3 million organic impressions, and I'm also a speaker and trainer at multiple places. So that's a bit about my background, but most importantly, I do what I do best because I love working with business owners, founders, and senior executives to help them build the brand of their dreams. This is what fuels me, this is what keeps me passionate, and this is why I'm sharing my tips with you today, okay? So before we dive right in, I would like to get to know the room a little, okay? So who thinks personal branding is important? Type in a yes in the chat. Who thinks personal branding is important? Type in a yes in the chat. Let me know. If you don't think it's important, you can say no, or you can go somewhere else. But if you think it's important to you, type in a yes in the chat. All right, awesome. So,
I just see that that there are basically thumbs up. So I guess that's the substitute for the yes. So yeah.
Awesome. So here's a mini follow-up question. Okay, so now this is the big question that I have. Who here is actively posting on LinkedIn? Haha. So if you are, type a yes in the chat. Actively posting on LinkedIn can mean different things to everyone, but if you are, type in a yes in the chat. If you are not, no worries. That is why we are all here today. Now, the final question I have, and I would love for you guys to ping in the chat, how often do you post on LinkedIn? So is it once? Maybe you post daily? Is it number 2, you post weekly? Or is it number 3, almost never? Right? And I'm sure we have a whole range of folks. Thomas, what are you seeing so far? How many folks are saying what?
The people just start answering the once per week. After that, monthly. But it's still the monthly is better than nothing. After that, we have the answer the twice a week. After that, Ines replying that posting on daily basis. Me personally, I'm posting time to time, almost on daily basis, time to time, basically at least the once a week. I don't have any system at this moment in a posting in that, but I see a lot of people that watching us are active on the LinkedIn.
Awesome.
If maybe I will ask the question where you can reply by the emoji that's basically flying there around. Is there someone that never posted on a LinkedIn? You can basically send a thumb down like that. Okay, so everybody that watching us at least once posted on the LinkedIn. Amazing.
Awesome,
Great.
awesome. And maybe if there are a couple of you folks here who has not yet posted, don't worry, okay? Or if your last post was maybe a few years ago, don't worry. In this session, we will cover a few of the basics to help you get started again. All right, so thanks for all your response, right? So a lot of times when people come to me, they tell me different things like, hey, Audrey, I want to build authority online. I want to generate more leads. I want to attract speaking opportunities, right? I want to unlock my next career move. Maybe I'm a senior executive and I want to do something else. I hear all of these amazing things, and LinkedIn can be very powerful in unlocking all these opportunities. But in today's AI first world, it's going to be harder to stand out. I'm sure many of you have seen very AI type posts, AI type comments. I use AI myself, but I think you need to use it in a more strategic way. So my goal is to combine that human strategy with that AI execution to get the best results. So for today, in this session, I want you to really get the foundations right. Lay the right foundations for the house so that you can position yourself for success, okay? And here's what I need from you. So if you are here, remember I have a bonus at the end of the session. So I would love for you to stay all the way to claim that bonus. And it's only for folks who stay all the way, right? But also I would love for you to really maximize this time we have together. I want you to actively think about how you would apply the concepts that I'm about to teach. If you have questions, pop them in the chat, right? So that Thomas can bring them to me and I can answer some of those questions. And number 2, if you enjoyed the workshop, I would love for you to put theory into practice and do one post after this event, right? Maybe it's a post about us, or maybe it's about a post about what you learned or something that happened to you. So 2 things, think, apply, and then take action. All right? If you're good with that, give me a thumbs up. Let me see those thumbs up so that I know you are ready to get started. All right. Okay. I see lots and lots of thumbs up. So if we are ready, let's begin. So let's build your forever brand. And to do so, we need to get the foundations sorted. Today, I'm going to share with you the 3 secrets to success, right? How do you really build authority and thought leadership in an AI first world and really attract the right customers to your business or unlock your next career opportunity? Whether you are building your own business or trying to use LinkedIn to unlock your next career move, the foundations remain the same. So we got to get it sorted before you even post any piece of content. Okay, so let's start with number 1, strategic positioning. Now, most people may not be familiar with this term, but in simple terms, strategic positioning refers to how you win in a crowded marketplace, right? Imagine you're in a marketplace and everybody is selling apples, juicy apples. All the products are the same. What is going to make a customer say, hey, Audrey, I want to buy your apple instead of everyone else's. Perhaps it's because I'm saying my apples are from Japan, right? They are organic. They're from, this mountain where a monk actually grew the tree, right? So I can build a full story around it. But you get the point, right? This keeps the apple fresh, juicy. At the same time, it gives the audience a reason to buy from you. In your case, what will make someone say, hey, I want to work with Thomas. I want to pick Lead Spiker. What is that reason? So you need to nail the positioning. So the difference is this, right? Some of my clients say, Audrey, I've been posting for 5 years. I don't see a difference. That's because they are posting content, but it's not stacking up to build one house. If you don't have a positioning, even if you are posting content, it doesn't tell a story. So you need to make sure that you know what you are building, and every single post needs to ladder up towards that. Make sense? Right? Okay, so I'm going to give you an example to help you visualize it. For example, in my case, I am known for one thing. I help people to build a brand that converts through positioning, content strategy, and copywriting, which you will see today. In this case, right, you can see that this is what I'm known for. But all the other folks here, they have optimized their LinkedIn profiles to be known for one thing only. Shulin is known for career and culture insights. Eugene is known for B2B strategies for brands, right? And then Richard is known for sales mastery that earns attention. So you can see everyone here is known for one thing only. Some people, they come to me and say, Audrey, but I have so many things that I'm good at. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I have so many things I want to do. That is perfectly fine. But I always ask, what is your one key objective? So have one key objective in mind, have one clear target audience in mind, then build one core message that you share with everyone. Okay, so here's a 3-step framework I want you to apply right now. So if you have a paper and pen, or if you have your iPad or notepad, you can already start writing things down. I want you to answer this question, right? Who are you? What problem do you solve? And how do you deliver that unique value, right? So let me show you how to put everything together. Now, when you answer these questions, you are going to be able to form a very simple positioning statement. There are many ways to do it. This is just one way. In this case, a very simple way to get started is this. I help target audience solve problem through solutions, right? So for example, I help founders build brands that convert through a mix of positioning strategy and AI-powered copy. That's one example. I'm going to give you another example so you can see and think about how it plays out for yourself. If you are a business owner, you could say something like, I help skincare clinics generate 3 times more qualified leads by automating inquiries using AI chatbots. In this case, I didn't just say, I am an AI chatbot company, right? In this case, I niche. That's something you can also consider. So here's a client example. Hong Ming and his team at iGrow runs a really, really good leadership training company. And they have been around for 10 plus years, right? But when he first came to me, I asked him, who is your main target audience? What is your focus? What is your expertise? And leadership training can be done for everyone, right? So you can see in the original kind of visual, he talks about leadership and team development. It's good, but there could be a market opportunity that he hasn't quite captured. So what we then realize is in his company, he is great, right, at working with military folks, civil service folks, people from the government. In this case, right, tapping into his expertise, then revamping the language that he used, revamping the profile, and now even saying something like Singapore's trusted partner in leadership development, born in service, proven in practice, language that resonates, and then the logos of all the military/civil service companies he has worked with. You can see the difference between generic positioning to sharp positioning. So this is how you go from something that's a bit broader to something specific enough to make you the obvious choice for your prospect. So I am going to also tell you one bonus AI tip. Now, if you are thinking about using AI, you're like, Audrey, I'm not a strategic person. I'm not sure how to write something. What you can do is in ChatGPT or in Claude, you can create a project. Or in the file folder, you want to upload your knowledge. So in my project base, I uploaded my case studies, my client testimonials, my landing page copy, right? And then sometimes I have so much information, but I'm not very sure how to articulate it. So you can ask AI, hey, as an expert content strategist, can you please form a strategic positioning one-liner for me? Tap into your knowledge base, review the content, but most importantly, ask me follow-up questions. Then help me finalize my one-liner using the following framework. So typically, in this case, this provides you a very good starting point, but you must remember, AI doesn't know you as well as you do. And sometimes I would say working with an expert would help you to get to that positioning a lot better. If you don't have that option to work with a copywriting strategist like myself, then at least get started with AI, get some ideas, and then start testing it. All right, so if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. Thomas will be sure to ask me those questions.
I just check it out if we have something new, and nothing new, right?
No problem.
So we can continue. But
Okay.
guys, don't be shy. Feel free to ask to everything what basically can help you. This is mostly about you to get as many information as possible that you can apply into your daily life on these social networks. So feel free to ask if you need some more deep dive into some specific thing that Audrey mentioning. Just ask. Don't be shy. So we can continue.
All right, so I'll continue, but like what Thomas said, feel free to drop your questions in the comments. Remember, there is no such thing as a silly question. Every question is valid, so don't be shy, put it out there. All right, so we'll continue, okay? Remember, as I talk about these, think about how you would apply it in your personal context. Number 2, content strategy, right? So I like to say that content without strategy is like a car headed in the wrong direction. You can be moving, but you may not be going towards your destination. So content strategy is almost like having a clear roadmap. If you have that direction, then you will know what to post. I know, Thomas, you mentioned not knowing what to post every day, and sometimes you're just like, what should I talk about? The content strategy is that roadmap to help you to do that.
And that's basically my problem. I totally missing the content strategy. I was active the year ago, really active, where basically the posting was the straightforward. But and in that time, everything that I posted was basically slightly unique. But at this moment, in terms of the AI in sales and etc., I just opened my LinkedIn and I just see basically a bunch of posts that mentioning the specific topic that I would like to post about it, and I just say okay, but I won't say anything unique, and it is tough time to time with the AI, because at this moment there is a lot of content, but the content strategy and clear goal definitely can help us.
Definitely. So a lot of clients of mine, when they first come to me, they also tell me, Audrey, I don't know what to post every week. Sometimes I got the writer's block. No, I'm not sure what to do. Or sometimes I post, but I'm not sure what I want to say, right? That's why you need a roadmap. If you have a roadmap, that's how you build something that has longevity and that can help you to get to your end goal. So I always ask, right, what is your end goal? Some clients say, my end goal is thought leadership. I just want to be known in the industry. Some clients say, my end goal is lead generation. I want to get clients directly, right? So identify your end goal first, then we build the strategy around it. Okay, so here is a 3-step framework that you can apply. Number 1, I want you to start thinking about what are your 3 core content pillars. Now remember, we talked about your strategic positioning, right? Your positioning is how you are known in the crowded marketplace. Now, you need to build out 3 core content pillars that ladder up to it. I typically recommend sticking to 3 to a max of 5. Anything more, your feed is going to become very confusing. So start with 3, right? And then play around with it. You also want a mix of professional as well as personal expertise. The interesting thing about LinkedIn is you need to find the sweet spot between being professional and being personal. Why? If you remove the personal part of things, there is no difference from your personal brand versus the company's brand, right? If you add the personal touch to it, that's where the magic happens, because you know me, Audrey, as a human, but you also know me, Audrey, as an expert. So you need to be able to find the overlap between personal and professional, okay? And like what I said, make sure that your pillars ladder up to the key value proposition, that one-liner that we built. So let me show you what that looks like. Now, in my case, right, I'm the founder of Post with Copy. I help founders build brands that convert through positioning, copywriting, and AI. So you can see here that I have three very clear pillars. One, AI for marketing. I'm not saying that AI is my pillar. AI is too broad, but AI for marketing, that's a lot more specific. Number two, copywriting and strategy. That's my bread and butter. So of course I'll do that, right? And number three, the more personal element. So here I can talk about my personal entrepreneurial journey, my growth journey, and this gives me that human element that people can bridge. So I think, Martin, you had a mini thinking kind of bubble, right? Yeah, start thinking about it. What is the 3 pillars that help to ladder up to your brand? In my case, I would never do finance as a pillar. Maybe I'm interested in it, maybe I'm great at it, but if it doesn't ladder up to my positioning, it doesn't work. Make sense? So you need to have 3 strong core pillars that ladder up to your positioning. So over here, right, this is what it looks like in practice. So on LinkedIn, you would see multiple formats. Sometimes you might see videos, carousels, photos. So here's an example. So under content pillar 1, AI for marketing, I could showcase my AI Marketers podcast where I interview leading AI marketing folks. Pillar 1. Okay. Pillar 2, copywriting and strategy. Why most B2B ads fail, right? Immediately, I showcase my expertise as a copywriter. Pillar 3, growth. Perhaps I'm talking about the best investment that you can make. And in this case, my best investment is building my brand and my growth journey. So this is the very personal part, but a mix of these 3 pillars ladder up to my positioning. And that's also why some clients of mine, they don't comment on my posts, they don't engage with me, but 7 months later, they come back and say, Audrey, I'm ready to work with you. That's the power of content strategy.
Yes, and a lot of people basically still underestimate that because a lot of people are passively consume the content and during their decision process, and after that, after a really long time, you just receive, hey, I am just watching you over the year, and it is really cool. We are at this moment in a right time to talk about the lead speaker, how we can implement into the company XYZ. And it is really interesting, the customer journey, because in terms that we are tracking all the engagements and etc. A lot of people that coming from the inbound that basically tracking us for a long time, we didn't have any note in a CRM, any interaction without brand, with our brand, and it is really funny that is working. Those passive visitors on the profiles.
Yes, the interesting fun fact I would share is your buyers are people who are not going to engage with you. Most buyers are lurkers, meaning they will view your profile, they will take a look at your content, but they will not engage until they're ready to buy. This is a common trend that a lot of LinkedIn creators have seen, whether they are full-time creators or part-time creators or business owners. Just note that a lot of your audience may not be engaging, but they may still be active and ready and willing to buy as you nurture them down the funnel. Awesome. So one of my clients, right, she went from posting, like some content, it was working, but not so consistently. But once we sharpened her messaging, her formats, her pillars, immediately, right, within the month, her impressions, her engagement shot up. And most importantly, the right audience started landing on her profile. That was what we were tracking for. So remember, right, having the right content pillars to ladder up to your strategy matters a lot. Okay, so if you are, for example, thinking about what to post about, you can also get ChatGPT to help you to build out a full content strategy matrix. Now, this prompt I have actually includes things like your content pillar, your funnel stage, your content bucket, the hook, the type of hook, the hook that it recommends, and a one-liner description. If you want the prompt, right, I'm giving it to people who stay all the way to the very end to access the super secret LinkedIn Launchpad vault. So stay to the end. The resource will also include this piece of work as well as many other prompts that I'm using. So if you have any questions at this point in time, feel free to pop it in the chat. Thomas, are there any new questions for us? If not,
I
I'm gonna
will check it out. I am checking out. Yes, we have there someone that raising the hand. So I will try to invite you directly on a stage. And I don't see at this moment the raised hand. Please, can you raise the hand again? Amazing, amazing. So let's participate. And you can join us and ask us directly.
Hi, Audrey. Thanks so much. I was actually invited by you through the LinkedIn, and I just wanted to ask, after solidifying your personal brand, would you ever want to pivot to something different, and would it be difficult because you already have a certain target audience? Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ru, and
Thank
that's
you
a
for
great
the question.
question. Yes, thanks so much for joining us. So the question would be, once you know your personal brand, what happens when you want to pivot? So even in my own journey, I had to make a big pivot. When I first launched, I was known more for AI copywriting. At that time, ChatGPT was really new. So being an AI copywriter was super cool back then. But then I realized it wasn't aligned with the customers that I wanted to work with. I wanted to work with folks who wanted to build out their content strategy. So I pivoted from being known for AI human copywriting to building brands that convert. So yes, I was pivoting, but it was still aligned and in the same kind of flow. Some of my clients, they are moving industries completely. It is not impossible, but you might realize that your old audience may not resonate with your new content. So you might have to restart the cycle, but it is possible to make either small pivots or bigger pivots.
And I maybe jump in because the lead speaker before when we getting the thousands of engagements almost on a weekly basis, we just built the brand about the AI in terms of the startup scouting. So a lot of our audience was basically the venture capitals, investment funds, and etc. And after that, we basically started with the lead speaker itself for the lead generation. And we start posting about the AI and the sales and etc. And we never hit that much engagements and that much views as basically the 3 years before. What is basically the time when the audience basically start accepting the new pivots slash totally the new pillars of your profile of your brand, or what is the approach there? Because you already have a bunch of followers in an industry that was relevant for you before, but what do you to be again the relevant on the LinkedIn?
Yes. So if, for example, you are making a very big switch, maybe you're moving from finance to marketing, right? What I would first do is relook at your positioning, relook at your one-liner, right? Then make sure you're re-optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So for many of my clients, for example, the client that I showed previously, right? We did a big shift from big, broad audience to specific audience. So if you change your banner, update your headline and about section, those are the first few things you need to do. When someone lands on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is your landing page. Your first impression needs to count. So make that full pivot on your profile. Then build out the content strategy for the next phase of your journey. Content takes time. It's not an overnight thing, right? People need time to understand what you're doing, to be curious about it, and to be nurtured. So I would say give it about 3 months, because within 3 months, your audience will be a lot more familiar with your new content and understanding, hey, this company is doing something different. It is not impossible. A lot of folks have done it. A lot of brands have done it, but you need to do it right, smart, and with good time.
And with consistency, I guess.
Yes, definitely. Awesome. Awesome. So with that, I will jump to our third section, And then we can, if we still have a bit of time, we can still take more questions. All right. So I hope you guys have been liking it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. I would love to know if you are finding it handy or useful so far. Give me a thumbs up if you are enjoying the webinar. All right. Awesome. So let's go to the third part of things, right? Okay. Now, what is the final secret to success? As a copywriter, I would like to tell you that the final secret is actually copy, right? The words itself, how you write it, is as important as what you want to say. The difference between good copy and bad copy could be two of us can have the exact same message. But if I'm able to word it well, I would find that my post gets way more impressions than somebody else's post. And that is because you are bringing the audience in. So on LinkedIn, I always say good conversion copywriting is insight-driven copy for your ideal customer profile. When I write for one person in mind. I write for founders, right? I write for specific SME business owners. I know who I am targeting. So you need to find out what is your audience insight. What makes them stay awake at night? What makes them excited? What keeps them motivated? You need to find your audience insight, then you build on it. So let me show you an example. I like to use the analogy of acupuncture. Now in Asia, I'm not sure if you folks are familiar with this. There is a practice in traditional Chinese medicine where they use a needle and they poke it on pressure points. Have you heard of this, Thomas?
Yes,
Yes.
I was. I already have direct experience with that. I just tested out on myself. I don't know, maybe 10 times, and it is really helpful.
Wow. You know what? Even though I use this analogy, I'm so scared of needles. I haven't done it myself. But good to know that it works.
But I highly recommend it. I can recommend basically, and it is really funny that you have the issue, for example, of a leg, but basically how the acupuncture works, it basically the influencing the whole body, and I thought that also the influencing the positive thinking. So highly recommend if you have some bad mood, you can also test it out. Maybe it will help. But this is my experience. This is not the medical advice from my side.
We have to add an asterisk. This is not medical advice. But
Exactly.
yes, like what Thomas said, right? So usually for acupuncture, it's like looking for your pressure points and then sticking a needle in. I like to use the same analogy for copy. Your goal is not to put a lot of content out that doesn't work. Your goal is to find the pain point, the pressure point, and use the right copy to target it. That is the goal. Precision, clarity, and effectiveness, right? And that's how you get copy to convert. So on LinkedIn, it's the same. If you want to attract leads, if you want to attract your next recruiter, you need to know what do they care about. What are some audience insights? What are their fears, pain points, motivations, desires? Turn the insights into content, right? And then think about, can I use AI in my workflows? So you can see, right, AI isn't the first thing I do. AI is the last. AI comes only after I've done my positioning, my content strategy, my insights, then AI comes into play. Okay, so one example is this. Now I use a tool called Servo. It's a really cool tool for note taking and to help you to do sales call analysis. There are many other AI tools out there, but as long as you get one that can record your audience transcripts, right? So here, what I do is I take my client calls from Servo. I turn the insights from the client calls into content. As you can see, things that my clients like to say to me, Audrey, positioning is not a priority right now. Or Audrey, we are good with referrals. Or Audrey, LinkedIn is just a social platform. All of these things that I've heard many times, and I've also shared why it's not the case, I turn them into insights, and then I turn them into LinkedIn content, right? And then after this, maybe I can say, hey, I need an analogy to put everything together. So I get my insights from my client calls. I use my custom GPT trained on my tone of voice and style of writing, create a post, and then I need a visual for it. So maybe I use Whisk or Google Gemini's Nano Banana to create an illustration. There, right? So very sharp workflow, but it's not me asking ChatGPT to write a post. No, it's me going back to the basics of what makes good copy. Insights, tone of voice, and then having a visual to complement it and to bring it to life. Okay, so one of my clients, I'm really proud of her. Basically, what we did was we nailed her positioning first. We did a revamp. Then we also looked into her content strategy, finally rolling out with a very clear copy on both her LinkedIn and her landing page. And guess what? She told me she got 10 inbound leads in 2 weeks. Exceptional stuff. I think it's also because she has a good network, but this is the power, right? You have a network, but if you don't know how to tap on it, it's just there. Once you have everything dialed in, that's how your network knows, hey, I'm going to Thomas because I'm looking for this. And then everything clicks, right? So what I like to do is I like to build my own GPT team, but everything is built with a purpose. So I have a GPT for my AI Marketers Playbook podcast where I can pull out insights. So I'm tapping into the brains of top marketers. I have an Alex Romaisi Sales Coach GPT that I built, trained on 4 hours of Alex's best sales transcripts. And then I also have my own custom AI writing GPT that I built for myself for LinkedIn and beyond. So if you are thinking of using AI, think of building your own team, right? Don't just think of it as one function only. You can think of it as how can I build a super team that can supercharge your own workflows? And that is the best part about AI. So I'm going to pause here. Does anyone have any questions about copywriting or anything about the AI workflows?
We just received only the feedback from Martin that he loved acupuncture, but that's basically everything that we received. But
You know what?
Thank you for the feedback.
Yes, I think after this, the folks who are listening to the webinar, they are going to Google the nearest acupuncture clinic. But yeah, okay, awesome. So as I'm speaking, right, I'm sure you're writing down notes and thinking. If you have any other questions, feel free to pop them in the chat, right? There's still a bit of time. But as you can see here, what I've done is given you the foundations to success. Now, the mistake that most people make is they jump straight to the copy part. So some people, they just hire a ghostwriter to write for them. Sure, it's good. But if their positioning isn't clear, if the strategy isn't there, no matter what type of post or how many posts you put out, it's not quality posts, right? It's just quantity. And that's why it doesn't resonate. The only way to do things well is to really know why someone should pick you, what pillars you talk about, and only then write copy. And even in this part of the triangle, you want to make sure it's trained with your voice. So my voice is a lot more cheery, a lot more positive, versus I've built a custom GPT for a CEO of, like a big company, and his voice will be entirely different from mine, right? His voice will be a lot more grounded, a lot more authority driven. So you don't want people to see your post and be like, hey, that's so AI. The goal is find your voice, build it into an AI tool, but then combine it with part 1 and part 2 so that everything works together. So really, right, once you have these 3 secrets to success, that's how you get from just good work to great work and really attract the right inbound leads.
And we received a question from Ines. Thank you for the question. How do you really make people understand you are the person they need to contact when they need your service from your profile?
Yes, definitely. So most people need to have a reason to believe. So for example, if your profile is not clear what you do, or people feel like they cannot trust you, then immediately you're not going to be able to win them over. So I would say step 1, go back to the positioning piece. Now, within this piece, right, the way I normally work with clients is we look at your target audience. What do they actually want? We look at your competitors. What are they actually saying? Then we look at you as an individual. What do you have to deliver? What is your experience and expertise that makes you different? So it's like a puzzle that we need to unblock. So I enjoy this process a lot because I like to think, right? So if my client comes to me with all these information, my goal is to find that golden thread to help you figure out the reason why someone should work with you. And a lot of times, this reason is something that takes a lot of time to distill. But once you crack the reason, then everything else can follow, and it gives people a clear reason to pick you.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer. Ines, I hope that you receive a detailed answer of what you should improve or what you can do about it. And we have really interesting question from the Lucas. People are getting better at detecting the AI produced content and tend to view the personalization and distinctionness. I don't know if I pronounced this word correctly. Sorry for that. How did you overcome this? Beyond giving your model samples reference material, do you prove, read, and add human touch, or do you accept it? That it won't land to everyone?
Yes, great question. So for me, I always say human AI. I never talk about AI alone. So I always add the human touch. What I do to improve the process is, for example, one of my clients, right, she used to take 7 steps to get to her LinkedIn post. So she would say, I don't like this, I don't like that. Can you change the voice? That's how a lot of us use ChatGPT. We like to give it tiny instructions. But actually, the best way to build a custom AI tool is an AI assistant is to take a look at what is your unique voice. So when I think about building a tool, right, with ChatGPT or Claude, right now, I first have to identify what is my tone of voice. So my tone of voice has to be distinct, unique, true to me. Then I give AI this tone of voice reference. In addition, right now, what I'm doing is with Claude, you have Claude skills. This is a newer function that not many people are using it. So for me, I'm also in the midst of experimenting with it. But what I've found is I can build a Claude skill that is an AI copy editor. So I gave Claude the knowledge of what makes AI content AI. I build it into a skill, and with Claude skill, it can be applied across all my conversations. So I can run this AI editing skill across my LinkedIn post to make sure it's filtering for these types of content. It's not perfect yet, but my goal is not perfection. My goal is to get me 70 to 80% of the way there. And then I use the human touch for the last 20%.
Every time the human touch is basically the important for most of the AI work, because after that you can easily get the AI slop. But when you combine that with the human creativity and with your own thoughts, you just can get really unique output, and the AI only leveraging the time when you are able to create the output. From the hour is reduced to the 5 minutes, but the creativity behind need to be yours, and the final touch need to be done by human, or you just generated the AI slop that did not receive any reaction and can basically destroy your brand. For example, in Czech Republic, we had one influencer on the LinkedIn, almost the 30K followers, and after that he basically start automating every post by AI and start posting the post without any value. And at this moment, he basically has under each post around 1-2 likes, and when he did everything manually, he had around 1,000 or something just like that. So
Wow.
really huge difference how the AI can also destroy your whole personal brand. So you just need to make sure that it is not AI, but it is still you when you are using the AI.
Definitely. So that also brings me back 1 and 2, right? Because if your positioning is unique, if your content strategy is unique, if you give AI the right context, stories, case studies, input, then the post will become uniquely yours.
And we have another question / maybe just from Lucas. There's a great insight. Thank you for that. There's the reaction for your previous answer. Claude skills sounds like a super interesting thing to explore. Specifically, instead of saying write like a human, use it to help identify what makes AI slop AI slop. Basically, the Claude Scales is the most hot thing that happened basically in AI world in last 2 months, and I highly recommend to deep dive, to basically Google it, what is a scale, what is a skill creator, how to create the skills, how to leveraging the skills directly in a Claude. Because after that, what you can do, you can take a look on your LinkedIn, or basically to the LinkedIn that you really liked, and say, okay, this is really great tone on voice, and I would like to use it the same, but I would like to do it only in my industry with my product, with my expertise. And you can basically scrape the LinkedIn post or give the access to the Claude to your LinkedIn, and he basically scan all the posts, make the knowledge, find out basically the things that are the common for this tone on voice. And after that, every time when you are creating the new post, it start applying the skills that you created for that. And it don't need to be only the copywriting. It can be the almost everything.
Yes, it's so powerful. Even I think it's very important to keep upscaling. So even for myself, I'm always testing, experimenting, and seeing if it works. Not every new update is good. So I always like to use the human brain to think, right? So is this output really better than ChatGPT's? Sometimes AI says something very confidently and you think, oh, that sounds great, but it may not actually make a lot of sense. So here's where the discernment is very important, and for you to really validate, is this output good enough to put out there?
And that's also a really important thing in terms of using the AI in our processes, because every day is something happening and something shining is there the outside, and you just need to work with your attention. And
Yes.
at this moment, the skills are already validated and make sense to spend some time with them. But you should avoid to jumping every day from the new AI solution, new AI model, and more basically build the solid fundamentals in a workflow that you are doing. And after the market validated the new functionality, you can basically start incorporating in your workflows this new step. Do not basically totally jump, destroy the whole workflow to basically testing out the everyday the new tool, because the time is really amazing, but every 2 days in AI is the something new that is cool, and you just need to keep the focus on your workflows that really generating some value for your business, for you.
Definitely. So start with the end in mind. Even when I use AI here, I'm always thinking, what is my goal? What is my output? When I build my projects or GPTs, I always have an end goal. I don't build it for no reason. So what is your end goal? Then work backwards. So as we are approaching the end of the webinar, I'm also going to share a couple more final things that I promised. For those of you who stayed on, this is the time. Now, I hope you found the webinar useful. And now that you know the 3 secrets to success, there is only one thing left to do, and that is for you to take action, right? I can tell you everything. Like a gym instructor, I can give you the right diet, I can tell you the right exercises. But the only way you are going to see results is if you put in the reps. And the more you put in the work, the better the output. And that goes to everything in life. So my challenge for you today is, why not write your first post, right? So if you are, learn something new, why don't you take a screenshot of this event? Or maybe you can write about the 3 takeaways, and feel free to tag me and Thomas. We'll be sure to engage. And at least, right, this gets you started on your journey towards being a bit more conscious, a bit more active, and a bit more daring on LinkedIn. Now, one more thing, because you stayed on, I have also prepared a little something for you folks here, right? There is a gift for everyone who stayed on. Because you showed up live, I appreciate you and I thank you for your time. I also want to give you access to a super secret LinkedIn launch kit. So scan this code or take a screenshot of it so you can scan it later. This code will only be valid until the end of day. So afterwards, I'm shutting the code down. All right, no one else is going to get access. So if you're watching the replay, I'm sorry you didn't show up live. Maybe there'll be another event next time. But for those of you who tuned in and stayed on, I hope you found the session valuable, and I hope that you also enjoyed, whatever I talked about today. So if you are still here and if you're thinking, hey Audrey, maybe I like the work that you do, but I don't know if I can do it alone, and you prefer just having someone to guide you through the process, if you are interested to work with me, also feel free to reach out. This is my website, closewithcopy.co, right? Closewithcopy.co. Reach out or just ping me on LinkedIn and say, hey, I saw a webinar, I'm interested. Then we can see how we could potentially work together. So that's all on my end. Thomas, back to you.
And I will share basically the last screen of the presentation. You can also connect with us basically directly on the LinkedIn. So there are another QR code. So feel free to connect with us. I would like to thank to everyone that joined us during today. I learned a lot of things. I just need to set up the 3 pillars for me and start basically rebuilding the fundamentals of the LinkedIn profile. I would like to thank you to Audrey that joined us, share her expertise. It was really helpful, and again, really appreciate that you had the time for us to sharing the insights. And we have there the last question. So I will invite the Anne here directly on the stage. So here I just. Please, can you raise the hand again? I will invite you to the main stage. So it seems that, okay. At this moment is the last time to ask the question. So if somebody would like to write something to the chat or raise the hand to basically ask us directly on the stage is the right time. And I just seen some the raised hand, but at this moment I cannot see who raised the hand. So feel free to raise the hand again, and I will invite you directly here.
All right, so this is the final call, anyone who wants me to take a look at your profile, you can also do it now. I'm going to stay around for just 2 more minutes. Any brave soul who wants to come on stage, let us know. If not, just pop your questions in the chat. We're just going to count down a little bit, and then we're going to call it end of day, yeah?
So no other questions. No other
All right.
questions. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and appreciate Audrey that you shared a really interesting insight with us. And I would like to wish to everyone have a nice rest of the day. Audrey, thank you to joining us in a night times from the Singapore. So I wish you good night, and again, thank you for making this happen. And the recording you will receive after the webinar and during tomorrow in a newsletter. And that's it. That's it from our side. So again, have a nice rest of the day, and see you. And thank you for joining us. Bye.
See you. Take care, everybody. Thank you for having me. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.